find a bad thing. A different job, a different life, a different God, a different wife. In the best of us, you're gonna find a good thing.
18. That's right, 218. JoeJoeKeys, living and trying to survive in Rochester, New York, and here with Mr. David Werba. Tonight we're checking out Strangely All Right, which is a review on the website recently. We also have featured artists and spiritual leaders. You guys may have been playing them a little bit in the past couple of weeks. And Limberlost with The Real Thing. This band keeps getting better and better, but we're going to talk about it in a few minutes. So, David Werba.
Joe, I got to tell you something, man. I wrote this. I think you'll like this. I wrote this comedy article about 8 years ago about a man who had his ears removed and surgically implanted on the top of his head because he was bald, right? And the reason he did that is because he had so much ear hair growing out of his ears that he just put it up here, and he was willing to sacrifice his hearing just for a full head of it. And I understand that you've been struggling with ear hair.
You must have seen my post. Yeah. Yes. No, it's the funniest thing, dude. Like, so I have ear hair, eyebrow hair, and ear hair. I just pointed my nose hair, eyebrow hair, and ear hair problem, and back hair problem. We won't get into that. But dude, like, so I'm a dude. So like, just two quick stories. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed my eyebrow hairs were like out to here. So I trimmed them a little bit with my little trimmer thing that I got. And my wife, when I'm talking to her on her phone a couple hours later, she goes, "Oh, I see you shaved."
Yeah.
It's my eyebrow hair.
Oh, it's funny. I mean, a lot of men as they get older.
From the store the other morning. This is a true story. And she like looks over and she grabs my ear hair and yanks on it, and like my whole head, like it was so. It's like a tuft. It was like, so much that it didn't hurt because she pulled it out. It like literally like just pulled me, and it was I laughed so hard. It was the funniest thing. Trimmed it today, but anyway,
yeah.
Enough about that.
Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to discuss that briefly, man. So back to the show.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad you're watching my Facebook feed.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Strangely All Right. This band's pretty good. I haven't really got a good chance to listen to this group until I was putting together the show. So Strangely All Right. A recent review on the website with Psych Film. We'll be right back.
I am here and that's enough to make it all okay.
218, that was Strangely Alright with Psych Film. Trippy song. I like the harmonies a lot. Everything about the song is actually good in, sonically and musically and all that stuff. Great song, great band.
Yeah, man, I was hearing a really strong Pink Floyd influence
Sure.
with these guys. Yeah, similar kind of composition, I think. Like even the choruses vocally and just musically. And I think the song is 9 minutes long.
Is it?
Like, yeah, it's really long. A lot of like kind of bridges and then breakdowns and even that nice solo, not like epic like Pink Floyd, but nice guitar playing and everything. Yeah, I would guess they're big fans of that band because they look like they're a little older than the average band or have been playing for a long time. But yeah, great stuff. It's like I like these. We've had a lot of bands that are kind of fall into that revival type of class, but it's still original music, but when they do it really well, I love it because it's almost like that old band kind of got back together and release some new music through this different group or something. It's just kind of funny, but good stuff.
All right. So featured artist tonight is from, where are you from again? Ireland?
We come from a place called Cavan in Ireland. Yeah.
All right, there you go. From the man himself, David Riley here. It's nice and early in the morning, and he set his alarm, and he just barely made it, but he's here. So thanks for being here, man. You're with the band, The Spiritual Leaders. What do you do in the band?
I'm the lead singer, Joe, and thanks for having us. It's a pleasure to be here. So
cool. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. So just give us a little spiel about the Spiritual Leaders, who you guys are and what you're doing, and a little bit about the Underwater with You. We're going to take a listen to that and then get deeper with Dave.
Yeah, Spiritual Leaders, we're a band. Yeah, we're a three-piece. Myself, lead singer Fergus, lead guitarist, bass, and drummer, his brother Chad. We're going about 10 years.
Wow.
Started off in about 2010, released our debut album, I think, in about 2011, 2012. And then after that, we went our kind of separate ways, just like moved for work and that. But we're friends like from school and that. And we always felt like we had some kind of unfinished business and stuff like that. So back in kind of start 2019, we decided to, let's write some songs again. Got talking. The hunger was there to kind of make some more music, and then that's when we made it Any Way, and released that. And it was more like, let's have another go with it. Let's make some more music. And I suppose we were that little bit older, that little bit more perspective. And we wrote these songs. Some of them we had wrote from before, and some of them we wrote new. But it was more like, let's release this and you play a Picture on the Wall. That was our lead single, and now released it back in March this year. And Underwater with You, that was the second single from that, and that was more like a kind of down tempo, but one. But that song, like, I suppose the difference, we were more collaborative this time around in our songwriting. I would write songs, Fergus would write songs, but we would come together. And I think we were sharing ideas more. We were kind of going like, look, I like that, or I like that, or that doesn't work. And it was more like, it felt like it was just good, like, just I suppose writing music with other people. I suppose that's the whole point of being in a band. That's what we want, and I suppose with Underwater with You is more, it's one of Fergus's songs, and it's I would usually I suppose I had to get in my head of, I had to get in, get his lyrics in my head kind of thing. So I had to kind of, for the first time, I was kind of putting my perspective on his songs, interpreting what he was trying to say, like, and get my own meaning out of it. And I think, when we talked about Fergus, we had the same opinion, and it was about, being with that person. You know what I mean? You kind of, you go around the block, like, but it's those people that kind of, bring you back to where you need to be. And I think that's what the song's about. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So we're gonna check it out, and we'll come back and get deeper with Dave and Dave.
Yeah.
Time calls in their fish house. I sit and watch the clock strike 10. I found your green blouse underneath the drawers beside the bed. I'm sick of being here alone, sitting waiting for the four walls to change. You're coming from your parole, out of the maze and into the vase. You dive at first and now I'm underwater with you. 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 Underwater with you.
Beautiful song there by the Spiritual Leaders. I mean, like hauntingly beautiful guitar melody there. It's, you know, it's sparse, but it works. It works.
Yeah.
Man. A great job.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I think that's what we're going for in that song. Originally, that song was supposed to be just kind of like, we went in with the idea of like just even like acoustics or like a kind of like an echoey kind of guitar or electric, and it was supposed to be just that and the vocal. And our producer Rob just kind of says at the end, let's maybe put a little bit of a kick in it with a beat. And we kind of says, oh, that really works. That just gives it a little bit of something. So what we did was we went with that with the whole way through the tune, and then the last kind of minute where the guitars pick in and the overlays went in double time, which took it in a different direction, like, you know. So it is a slow burner. You do got to stick with it, but I think sometimes it's good to have a song like that. It's just, you know, you have to invest in it a little bit more, you know, for the listener, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's like our critic Katie Halligan. She wrote the review on the website, and you know, she said Daft Punk style.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was also like this band I've been listening to a lot this year, Empire of the Sun. Not sure if you heard of them, but
yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah,
I'm that's like my favorite band of 2020. I mean, I don't know what it is about that sound, but just really resonating towards it personally. But I'm curious, like, other than those groups, like what are your influences? Because I really like your voice. I really like your guys' sound. Like, I'm curious, the three of you.
Yeah, like I suppose I don't have a classically like kind of rock and roll voice, you know. It's our influences, like Fergus, like, is really my musical big brother. Like, you know, I'm always like I always like a tune, or I always like, you know, I'm always the kind of guy that looks for, you know, songs kind of grab me. So it's not that specific band, you know. It could be like a Van Morrison song, or, you know, a Radiohead song, or something like that. And the guys, Fergus would be like a real student of music. He would just be like, he would always have that cool taste, that influence, like anything from the Smiths. Like, originally, like when we started playing out, I wasn't into this, like the Smiths or anything like that. And then Fergus says, look, you gotta listen to these guys. And I did that, and I love all their stuff. And, you know, it's like, I suppose that's the thing I got with being in a band. You bounce things off each other, you know. And like Fergus and Carl would be like massive Radiohead fans, you know. and we would take things from that, you know, and I would listen to that, like not just like the kind of, I suppose, you know, like the Bends or anything, but like Kid A and all that, and go through like, you know, True in Rainbows and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
there's a lot of Irish bands.
I think the Smiths is a great call right there, just in terms of a reference, just because, you know, Morrissey, vocalist, obviously, you know, he's a legend, very prominent vocals in that, but also great guitar melodies in that band. I remember listening.
The Smiths wouldn't work without Morrissey or Marr, like, and that's the thing. Like, two guys, you know, I know they don't speak now, but like they just had that thing where they just was that connection, wasn't there? Marr he was just such a great guitarist, but I think Morrissey wanted to impress him as well with his lyrics, wasn't there? There was always that thing. It was like, you know, that yin and yang thing. And I think that's probably what we get in this band. You know, when I play Fergus's songs, I really want to do them justice, and I think there's that kind of respect. Like, I really respect where those guys are coming musically from, and you know, it's like when I bring a song to the table as well. I want, you know, they'll tell me if they're not feeling it, and I'll tell them if I'm not feeling it. I think there's that kind of honesty now. You know, there's not like, you know, we're working a song, like, you know.
Cool, man. Yeah, so I'm curious, in like 2012, you guys kind of just, you know, went your separate ways. Was it with other music projects or just kind of different types of work?
No, it was just I had to leave Ireland really for I started working in the UK, and it was just that, you know, practically we couldn't play. We used to play like every week and write songs and that, and it just kind of naturally came to an end. We recorded an album, released it, and never got to kind of tour it. When I said, like, earlier on, some unfinished business, we never really kind of did that justice. We kind of, I suppose, a bit naive in a way. We recorded it, released it, and that was it. Didn't put in the kind of the hard work or the effort that kind of comes with it to get it out to people. We just probably thought, oh, that's just going to happen, isn't it? You know, we recorded songs.
Yeah.
You know, and then I suppose that, like anything, that little passing of time, you don't miss it, of course. And then as the years go on, you go, you know, I just want to play music. I want to, you know, be back with my friends playing music, and you know, start writing songs. And then you just, you know, I did a couple of demos, and we just said, you know what, let's just book some studio time and, you know, write some music.
I mean, it's a great story. It's a great story because, you know, Joe and I have been through this, you know, that was our background as well. We played for a long time, couple decades. And, you know, it's like, everyone kind of individually reaches this point where it's almost like they have to move on from their art and do something else for a while, you know, if they're not world famous and making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like you're saying goodbye to your childhood when you do that, you know, or this like the you know, childish part of your brain. And then you kind of, I guess, grow up. But once people do other things, they obviously make more money and become more secure, and then it becomes, there's more freedom, and it's like more freedom to revisit some of those things you maybe wanted to do a little more when you were younger. And it's just cool that you guys actually came back together and are writing, because most people don't. Most people just keep going, you know.
Well, that's 100% where we are. Like, it was like we always kind of, I think, you know, we're a little bit dogmatic like that. We just like to dig in and kind of go, it's for us, really, you know. And but this time around, it was like, it did feel like, you know, just even the music was the thing that brought us back together. But the boys used to fly over on Friday night. We go into the studio Saturday, record all day Saturday, and just have a laugh, really, you know. And then you just, you know, work really hard on the Saturday, you know, have something like, get back, and all we would do was just have a few beers and reminisce, like, and, you know, in that kind of way, and then talk about what we're going to do on the Sunday. But it just felt like that, really intense. We didn't think about it too much. We didn't, like, you know, it was just like, you know, let's just go in and make. And, you know, we're really lucky with our producer Rob, because he kind of got what we were doing, like, you know, and it wasn't any kind of, we didn't procrastinate. We didn't kind of go, let's spend, you know, 4 days trying to get this drum beat right, or let's spend, you know, it was just like, let's make it, you know, record
everyone's
it.
like a little more matured and professional, and it's like, you know, let's be a little more serious. We could still have fun, but let's just make sure.
Yeah, and I think one thing is we really crafted the songs this time. They all came as fully formed songs, so it wasn't a case of, like, you know, writing lyrics or, you know, one thing we really do is, you know, I hate. I can't record a song unless I'm happy with it. Unless, you know, I'm happy with it lyrically, happy with it musically. You know, songs can adapt in the studio, but not to the point of, you know, lyrics. I think are really important in any song. I think, you know, that's the melody is all the thing that grips you, but I think lyrics are the thing that makes a song special for you. You know, and makes it, you know, stay with you. You know, they're the things that, you know, I think we all, you know, in all your favorite songs, the ones you go back to over the years is always the kind of ones you can relate to lyrically, you know, and it's the music that, you know, it's the tune that grips you, but it's the lyrics that kind of, you know, make it special for you. I
Yeah,
think.
man.
But that's
So like,
my,
I was doing just doing some, you know, searching online for you guys. Like, do you have like a central place where you have all your pictures and music and everything, or social media? Like, what's the best place for people to find you
yeah.
online?
I think spiritual leaders on Instagram. I think that's probably the best one. And then on our Facebook, it's spiritual leaders rock. So yeah, that's probably the best. There's two places to kind of get us. Obviously, the music's on Spotify and the videos are on YouTube. You know, so yeah, that's
Cool,
probably the
David.
best place.
It was a pleasure having you, man. We're gonna move on to the next song. I mean, thanks for staying up
No,
late in Ireland.
no, thanks a million, guys. Really appreciate it. And no, cheers for the support all the way in America there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure, man. Have a good evening. All right. That's awesome. So next tune, we're gonna play a Limberlost song. They're back with The Real Thing. Let's do this, Rob. Right there. Real Thing by Limberlost. I hope they hear this show and hear what I'm about to say, because I think this song highlights what this band was missing. It kind of clicked for me personally, at least. It's the melodic hook. Like I don't remember that part in their past music. I mean, she has great voice and she just kind of wails throughout a lot of their past songs. And it's nice. It's like, hey, great voice, but it's like nothing's kind of, there's no break. It just kind of seems like it was always continuous. And these melodic breaks doesn't have to be complicated, like ripping solos, you know, like simple guitar melody right there. Like that. I really think that's what this band needs. What do you think, Joe?
I think they're growing a lot really fast. Just their whole image, yeah, but also just musically, it's getting better and better. I think this is the best song that I've heard of theirs yet, really. And sonically, musically, everything, and the, you know, what these guys really need is a good video. I think I don't know how. I know they put out videos, but I'm saying they needed like a new good video with another new good song. I think, and they've just grown so much over the past couple of years. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's like the power,
the way they're set up.
Yeah, the power of the melodic hook. It's just like you can't ignore that stuff. I mean, it's.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a trait of like the top 100 songs. Like most of the time, doesn't matter what genre it is.
Yeah,
there's some of the greatest songs of all time. Just have these crazy hooks that just you can't get out of your head.
Where it is.
Yeah. So that's it, man.
So hooks. All right, hooks it up, man. Any final words tonight, there, David?
Oh man, no, feeling good.
We wrap it up. Okay, sounds good. So. Hixvideo, Hixvideo. If you need professional live streaming production on the internet, Rob's your dude. He's been working with us for a long time. And we will be back next week with episode 219. Don't ask me what's on it. I'm about brain dead right now because this is officially the end of my day. So
peace. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, peace.
I love it when I do something. Rob's always like,
yeah,
like, no, I'm doing this on purpose. All right, have a good night. Peace.
Time